This week on World Traveler Cooking, we're heading into the Thanksgiving season, so normally I try to do an apple pie every year. This time we're going to do an apple cake. So if you're trying to switch things up and you're tired of American apple pies for some reason, or you don't want to do the tarte normande, this may be an interesting way of switching things up for you. This is an apple cake from Lithuania. It is characterized by its use of cheese, as well as sort of the standard cake ingredients. It's also topped with a melted sugar butter mixture, sort of like a toffee, and then of course baked in the oven. So, I'm going to go through the ingredients here. We have 75 grams of butter, 100 grams of sugar, 135 grams of like a farmer's cheese or something similar. In this case, you can use something like paneer, which is basically made in the same way that Lithuanian farmer's cheese is. It's probably the closest thing you can get. If you can't get that, probably ricotta would be the next closest thing. Ricotta is made in a similar way, but the big difference is that ricotta is not strained and pressed in the same way. So you might want to try pressing it out a little bit, or maybe adjust the amounts a little bit. To this we will add 2 eggs. We will add a teaspoon of baking powder, 160 grams of flour, a pinch of sugar, and we'll use this for 3 apples. And then the top will be 30 grams of butter and 40 grams of sugar. So this is made kind of like a regular cake. We're going to put it in, I'll use the stand mixer. We will basically use the paddle and beat everything up until it's, or beat the sugar and butter until it's nice and fluffy. And then from there, we'll add our eggs and our cheese, and finally the baking powder, salt, and flour. So that is that. This should be a fairly quick video, and it seems like a fairly easy dish to make. So let's get started. So adding the butter and the sugar to the bowl here. And then we're just going to let this run for a while. I'll be back in a few minutes once this is nicely beat together. You can use a hand mixer if you prefer. But at any rate, once this is done, I'll be back for the next step. So now this is looking pretty fluffy, so I'm just going to add this paneer or farmer's cheese. And a big thing is you want to kind of make sure it's well broken up. You don't want like big pieces of cheese, because this cheese isn't going to melt. It's just going to sort of be there in small pieces. And so we want it to be nicely incorporated. So we'll beat this again until everything is really well incorporated, and then I'll be back to add the eggs. So this is all really well incorporated. So I'm going to add 1 egg at a time and then beat it. And once I'm done with both eggs and they're both fully incorporated, then I'll be back to deal with the flour. Once we get to the flour, we'll no longer use the mixer. So here you can see how nice and light and fluffy this is. And we're going to take this out of the mixer and we'll start mixing in the flour. So into this bowl, we're going to sift our teaspoon of baking powder and our 160 grams or so of flour. Probably putting this on the same plate as I previously had the cheese on was probably not the right choice, but hey, it's not a big difference. So, if you have a flour sifter, you can use that. Otherwise, just put it in a sieve. And here you go. So, there's our sifted flour. Now we go ahead and we're going to mix it by hand with a spatula or a spoon. Take your point, pick. And we're going to get something like we should get something like a dough out of this, not so much like a normal like cake batter. Something much more like a dough. And here we have our dough slash batter. I would say, whether you call this a dough or a batter, I guess it's your choice. It's not solid enough to be a dough and not liquid enough to be a batter. So it's somewhere in between. So next up we will prepare our pans and put that in, then we'll top it with the apples and add the topping on top. So I have a 22 centimeter pan, and I've cut some baking paper to more or less fit. Getting it properly set up for the corners is always a little bit of a challenge. So once you get it kind of nice and approximate, keep in mind it doesn't have to be perfect. You just don't want it to be too small. So err on the side of too large. And then we're going to take our dough slash batter and we're going to smear it on the bottom. This is also going to weigh down our baking paper and it'll make it easier to work with. I've seen this called a Lithuanian apple pie, but I think that's probably a lost in translation issue. In American terms, we would definitely consider this to be a cake because the pastry layer is leavened. While with a pie, typically we're talking about an unleavened crust. Now, let's go ahead and spread this out. Again, spatulas are great for this. We want a nice, even layer on the bottom. I think that's good enough. Next up, we will put the apples on. So now, I'm just going to take these apples here, and I'm going to arrange them in spirals around. And the fact of the matter is that 3 apples may require more, may require several layers. That's fine. But the key thing here is, I strongly recommend that you peel all the apples before you go further. And the reason for this is that apples brown when you leave them out for a bit, and your primary surface area is where you've sliced. So you want to minimize that time. And if you slice and then peel and then slice and then peel, that's a lot more time where things can brown. So I'm kind of expecting to get around 3 layers of apples out of this. So you can actually see why this is called an apple pie in some translations, in that it kind of represents sort of a Lithuanian answer to a French apple tart, which I'll cover next year. We've actually already scheduled it for next year. But you know, in the meantime, you know, imagine this is basically being a tart, but with a cake base instead of a pie crust. So I'm just gonna get both the rest of these in, and then I'll be back. We'll talk about the topping. So the further I get into this, the more I'm inclined to call this an apple pie instead of an apple cake, so I guess that's what I'll call it from here on out. Here we have the apples arranged. Next we're going to put the butter and sugar on top, and then we'll put this in the oven. We cook it about 180 Celsius, that's like 350 or so Fahrenheit. And yeah, let's get the topping, the brushing mixture done. So for the topping, I've added the sugar and the butter here. We're just going to stir it around over a relatively low flame until everything's until the sugar melts into the butter. And then we'll brush the top of the pie with this mixture here. I'll be back as soon as that's ready. So the sugar I have is just a bit slow to melt. I hope this is okay. So it's going to turn into a little bit of a caramel, like a toffee. So I'm going to start brushing the oil, and then I'll brush the sugar on the bottom after that. And here is our pie just before it goes in the oven. We'll be back in about 15 minutes when it is done. Of course, we check to see if it's done by using a toothpick. And now this has come out of the oven. I'm going to be back in about half an hour, and I'll try a piece of it. So now I have taken the baking paper partly off. I'm about to cut this. Just look how beautiful that is. I'm really excited to try this. I'm just going to cut a small wedge, put it on a plate for the taste test, and then we'll go for that. But I'm not going to worry about plating it up nicely. So next up, the taste test. And now for the taste test. Now, looking at this, it looks basically like sort of a typical cake with apples on top. So the texture is actually quite interesting. Because the cheese doesn't really melt in the same way. You have these little tiny pieces of cheese in this. It adds richness and a little bit of variety of texture that you normally don't get in a cake like this. The apples give it a nice flavor. All in all, I really like this, and I plan to make it many, many more times. Now, if you find this interesting, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Helps this channel grow, and it's free to do. Below you can also find a list of links where you can find and follow my work. If you would like to support me, there is a link to my Patreon page there also. At any rate, bon appetit, and see you next week.